What's going on? Sunny here. Super early morning here on Saturday. I was just going on a walk. I brought my phone along because I wanted to come to this park and share some thoughts on detachment, on how to detach from outcome, not just for manifesting, right? Not just for creating the reality that we do want, but really detachment is beneficial for any phase in your life. The difficult times, obviously, but also the neutral times. Because detachment is what allows you to have some control or sense of control over the physical, or a sense of peace, even when you lack all control. So a person who's detached is the person who is truly powerful, is the person who's truly graceful. Let's start with this. If every day you wake up with the sense of being a person, with everything invested in the person that you think you are. You wake up thinking that you are a person, and you go about your life being a person. Now, this person wants things, right, in the world. So desire is born. But this person also feels a sense of individuality, of being alone in a big world. So fear is born because it needs to protect itself from things that can hurt the person. Now this person also wants other persons to love it, him or her. So the need and desire for love and approval is born. And you get my gist, so on and so forth. All these, what Vadim Zeland calls excess potentials, are born out of importance, because you believe that you are the person and you have all these things in it, So that takes up your life. Now, if you go about life believing strongly and never questioning anything deeper than I am a body and mind, I am this person, then your life will truly go all towards securing things in the material world so that the person can feel better about itself. And the other half of your life is going to go towards suffering when the person doesn't have what he or she wants, when the person is not having any control of what is going on in the physical. So really, when we talk about detachment, we have to realize that there can never be any detachment if you believe strongly that you are of this world and you go about your life every single day assuming, having an unconscious assumption that I am this person and all that matters is just this stuff that I have to accumulate and protect myself from losing. So if you ever want to live in a detached manner, what is required is for you to question the assumption that you are this person, this body and mind. What is required is for you to connect with the deeper part of yourself that is not of this physical world. If the physical world is terrorizing you, is making you suffer, and the physical is what you want to detach from, then you have to come from a perspective that is beyond the physical, that is greater than the physical, that is not of the physical. You cannot ever hope to be detached from the physical if you believe you are physical, because then that is your existence. To be detached, you have to come from beyond the physical. And so you have to tap into that inner source that is beyond the physical, your connection to life that is from a different dimension than this physical. Only then can there be any sort of detachment in your experience. Only then can you ever have a greater perspective than just the physical perspective of this person. And that's really what the spiritual journey is all about, isn't it? Realizing more and more and connecting more and more with the power that is within you that is beyond the physical. And so usually, when people are on the spiritual journey, they're still very reactive, and they think that just because I'm spiritual now, I shouldn't have any problems. Whereas problems and your desires and all these inconveniences that you don't want happening to you are the very opportunities that you need to gain that greater perspective. You see what I mean? So when you are suffering the most, when you are like in a state of like, oh my God, why isn't what I want happening? And why is this thing that I don't want happening to me? Instead of embodying a physical perspective during that time of the person, that's your opportunity to tap into the greater perspective. That's your opportunity to seek a part of you within that is not at all affected by what's going on in the physical. Isn't that what detachment is all about? Tapping into the part of you that is not affected by if you have what you want, if you don't have what you want, if what you want is happening, if what you fear is happening. The only way to detach is to access that part of you that is completely undisturbed, completely unaffected, and has no involvement in the story of what is happening. Because the story only belongs to the person, not to the source, not to the aspect within you that is beyond this physical dimension. So use those opportunities to deepen your realization of who you actually are beyond this physical person. And the more you do so, the more you become detached. Detachment isn't something that just happens like this, although it can, but it's something that has to be worked on. It's something that you have to consciously develop by deepening your understanding of self, deepening your knowing of self. And one of the ways to do that, the most effective way, is meditation. Meditation is your doorway to that part of yourself that is unaffected, undisturbed. And if you never meditate, then you're just a bundle of thoughts of the person believing that it needs things and that it has to protect itself from fears in this physical world, because you'll never gain a perspective that is beyond the physical. You'll have little glimpses of it when they come to you randomly, but you can't live in that detachment because you're not accessing that part of yourself that is necessary to have that detached perspective, you see? So you're limiting yourself. And that's why, when you start meditating and you start to truly be present throughout the day, looking at the world from not just your thoughts, but from the silence that is before the thoughts, that's why the world kind of starts to be a little dreamy, a dreamlike existence where you understand that you don't necessarily have to protect yourself and live out of fear, and that you can achieve the things that you want because you're coming at the physical from beyond the physical. You see, when you are coming at the physical from beyond the physical, that is when there is any sense of control. But on top of that, there is a detachment where even if you don't have control, you're fine with it. You're okay with it. So when you are achieving your desires and you are living the life that you do want, yeah, it's pleasant, but you're not like overly ecstatic about it because you understand that this is not you either. But when you are suffering and when things are not going your way, there is a certain peace that still pervades your existence. There's a sense of serenity that is coming from beyond the physical, which you are able to still have the perspective of. And then you look at your situation through that and maintain that peace, maintain that detachment. That's really what this detachment thing is. Detachment can never happen from the person. The person is fully invested in the physical because it is physical. The person is fully invested in the story because that's all it's ever known. So in order to be detached, in order to cultivate detachment over time, you have to detach from the person, actually. Don't detach from your situation, detach from the person and access that part of you that is coming at this physical reality from beyond the physical. So, and that's exactly, if you follow reality transurfing, all my reality transurfing content as well, that's what Vadim Zeland means by reducing importance. You cannot reduce importance if you are the person. You can only reduce importance if you are from the physical, from beyond the physical. the perspective beyond the physical, because then you understand that all this stuff really isn't that important, and that you can achieve what you want, and then you don't have to protect yourself from supposed fears. And when you are living in this way, when you're not fully just living through the thoughts of the person, believing that you are that person, there's actually this level of authenticity that shines through your existence. Because no longer are all your actions controlled by your desire to accumulate and your fear to protect. But instead, you're coming from a more silent place. You're coming from a place where you necessarily don't even have a motive. You're just observing and you're experiencing life as it is, without judgment, without label. And that is that silence, that is that peace through which spontaneous creativity comes forth. When you do act in a way that you just wanted to, when you get the things that you really wanted to, when you manifest what you really wanted to, but couldn't through the person somehow. And now that you're more silent and peaceful, coming at it from a different dimension, now the things that you did want, but weren't able to achieve through the person, just start coming spontaneously and in creative ways, in ways that are beyond the understanding of the physical mind and the physical perspective, because they don't come through certain governmental and administrative ways. So if you want to reduce importance, if you want to detach from the outcome, meditate. Live your day with awareness. Greater awareness is what is required, not effort. Okay? Effort is done through the person. To detach, you cannot effort. All you need is a greater perspective. You need awareness. You need to tap into that part of you that is not from the physical. Make sure to do that. If you want more videos like this, let me know. Let me know in the comment section below, what was your greatest takeaway from this video? All right? But subscribe to this channel, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.